Keep her moving. Staying in the lightweight division, this one's going to be fun too. This is the feature prelim. Maheshate coming in as a slight dog, plus 130 for him, minus 130 for Viaschlav, Borschev, Slava Claus. Over under 2.5 rounds, plus 160 for the over, minus 160 for the under. The 31-year-old Russian going against the 23-year-old Chinese fighter. 4-1 for Maheshate in his last 5, 3-2 for Borschev. Bit of a rough stretch for Borschev, man. I mean, he's 6-3 in his pro career. Had that big liver shot knockout in his debut. And then 2 losses to Jacasey and Mike Davis, where he pretty much just showed, like, this man, if he gets taken down, he can't get back up. Like, and he's not that hard to get to the ground. But luckily for Borschev, they gave him a decent matchup, because I don't think Maheshate is going to take him down. 31% takedown defense for Borschev. He got taken down 9 times by Mike Davis, 11 times by Mark Jacasey. Like, that's kind of how you got to beat him. And if you're Maheshate, are you going to try to take him to the ground? Like, is that something that you're going to do? He hasn't really shown that he's willing or like wants to do that. So I would assume that he doesn't. So this one probably going to be a stand-up battle. Unless Maheshate decides to wrestle, because I know Borshev's going to want to keep it standing. Like, that guy has got some really slick hands. He's sharp. He's crisp. Maheshate, younger, might be a little bit more athletic, might be a little bit more explosive, but at the same time, I think Borschev should win this one, because it's probably going to stay standing, and he kind of needs a win too. I mean, he's lost 2 in a row. Maheshate, younger, he's got a little bit more room for error. You know, if Borschev wants to make any title aspirations or work his way up in the rankings, he's got to go now. He's 31. It's his 4th fight in the UFC. He might actually need the win to like stay on the roster, because usually get 3 or 4 fight deals when you come into the UFC. And if he doesn't win this one, it might be an out for him. But I'm gonna go with him, even though he hasn't looked great as of late. I think it's a decent matchup for him, and I think he should be able to get the win. What do you think?
I'm with you, dude. I like him in this fight, regardless of what his record says the last couple of fights. I mean, even against Mike Davis, he was taken down 9 times, and he still matched him in the significant strike department. I mean, Mike Davis had 65 significant strikes, and Slava Claus had 63. So it shows you, man, when he's on the feet, he makes it count. And also, I mean, when you watch his past fights, even on the Dana White's Contender Series, Chris Duncan took him down 2 times. But he found the knockout in round 2. So he works himself back up to the feet, and obviously has power in his hands. His 2 wins in the UFC or on Dana White's Contender Series are both knockouts. And like you said, man, his hands are really slick, and he's fun to watch in that aspect. And Maheshate, I mean, he's kind of the same way. We saw against Steve Garcia. It didn't take him long to find the chin. Knocked him down twice and finally knocked him out with only 7 significant strikes. But at the same time, man, Steve Garcia was knocked down against Nurden Becky pretty quickly in that first round too. He's just tough. But Maheshate, that last shot was a little too much for him. So, but then he went on and lost to Rafa Garcia, and not really that close of a fight, where he was taken down 6 times. So yeah, this fight's going to play out on the feet. I think we all expect it to play out on the feet at least. And I think Maheshate, like you said, has the athletic edge probably, but Slava Claus just seems so experienced in the boxing. And I think it's going to take him far in this fight. And getting him at this price, I think it's a good enough price to play right now. I think he knows he needs a win here. He started out his career 6-1, takes 2 losses by decision to guys that are taking him down like crazy. And now he's got a chance to let those hands shine, because nobody's going to be shooting takedowns unless somebody gets stunned here. So yeah, man, give me Slava Claus, and I'm all over him on this week.
I'm looking forward to it. Should be a fun fight.